সো আজকে যেটা আমি করাবো সেটা হচ্ছে urochordates, general characteristics and retrogressive metamorphosis in urochordates. So today's class I will concentrate on general characteristics of and retrogressive metamorphosis in urochordates. So I am presenting my screen. শ্রীমন্ত, তো তুমি তো দেখতে পাচ্ছ?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
বাহ, ঠিক আছে। So, as the name suggests, today's talk is general characteristics of urochordates. Now, urochordates, euro means tail, and chordate means it has got certain chordate characteristics. The chordate characteristics are presence of notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord, tube-like tubular nerve cord, and of course the pharyngeal gill slits. Apart from that, there are other characteristics like muscles and tail, post-anal tail. These are other characteristics. But let us look at what these urochordates are. So this is a picture of the urochordates taken from the internet. As you could see there, once you pass some light on it, they reflect different colors. They look very beautiful on the bottom of the ocean. And the urochordates, the adults, they are the sessile marine chordates with a sac-like body inside a tunic. So sessile means they don't move about, they are sedentary, they are attached to the substratum. You might find that they are some marine plants, but no, they are animals, and neither they are sponges. They are different. The urochordates are sessile marine chordates with a sac-like body inside a tunic, hence also called tunicates. The larval form is motile and their tail possesses a notochord, hence urochordata. Uro means tail. So they are present, they have got a tunic or a sac-like body, একটা বস্তার মতন কাভারিং তাদের শরীরের. They have got a sac-like body. As you can see that there is a sac-like body, the animal is inside this, and that this is known as a tunic. Tunic is an overcoat type of thing. In for medieval times they used to wear a tunic. So now to look at some of the chordate characteristics of tunicates. These are also known as tunicates. These urochordates, they are known as tunicates. The famous examples are herdmania, ascidia. These are the famous examples of urochordates. People are very much aware of these urochordates. So they are also known as tunicates. So this is a tunicate larva. Essentially, this is a tunicate larva. So you can find that they have got a tail. This tail has got notochord and dorsal nerve cord, and they have got a pharyngeal gill slits over here. So hand drawn picture, this is how it looks like. They have an incurrent siphon. Incurrent siphon means water enters from that place. It enters and there is a pharynx, there is a stomach, intestine and anus, and then there is a siphon from which water goes out. That is the excurrent siphon. And they have got a cavity inside. The siphon leads to the pharynx, and the pharynx is lying inside a cavity known as the atrium. And on the tail region you find the dorsal tubular nerve cord, the notochord, the muscle segments which you see, that's also a chordate characteristics, and of course the pharynx has pharyngeal gill slits. In the adults, of course, the what you find is that these nerve cord gets converted into only a dorsal ganglia. It can get converted into a dorsal ganglia in the adult, and the pharyngeal gill slits are present, but the notochord disappears and the nerve cord becomes into a ganglia, and the pharyngeal slits, they expand and extend and grow, and they have several more gill slits. This becomes greatly enhanced. So the notochord, which is the prime characteristic of chordates, it's only present in their larval stage, and it is absent in their adult stage. Now, if you look at the habit and habitat, this is a picture of one of these urochordates, and beautiful picture. These are all taken from the internet, Wikipedia. You can find them there. They are exclusively marine and sessile or sedentary. So they are always found in the sea, and they are sessile, that is, they don't move about, they are attached. They are solitary or colonial. You can find they are singles, or they can have several of them are present in one place like a colony. They are found at all depth. Their size is 0.25 millimeter to 250 millimeter wide. The shape and color are variable. And now, if you see the general characteristics, adults have a sac-like unsegmented body, no appendages or tail. So they have got a sac-like body, বস্তার মতন body, একটা বাইরে. This covering is just a moment. This covering in gray over here, this is the tunic or covering. This is made of a carbohydrate like covering, which is similar to cellulose. It's known as tunicin. But what is funny is that cellulose is normally a plant material. The cellulose is normally a plant material, but in this case, these are the examples where you find cellulose to be present in an animal. So this covering is tunic. Inside the tunic there is a space known as the atrium. See this space, inside this space where I am moving my mouse, it's in blue. This space is atrium. Again this space here, it's atrium. So atrium is a cavity inside this animal. So then you have a branchial siphon, or it is known as incurrent siphon, and you have an atrial siphon, it is known as excurrent siphon. So both are terminal. So a terminal branchial incurrent siphon leads the water into the pharynx. So this leads the water into this pharynx. At the base of the pharynx is a structure known as endostyle. They secrete mucus, and this is important to capture food. So the water which enters from the branchial siphon through their so-called mouth into the pharynx contains suspended food particles inside it. So zooplankton, phytoplanktons, they are suspended food particles, and they get trapped in the mucus secreted by the endostyle, and the excess water which comes inside, they escape out. After the food particles are trapped, they escape out from the gill slits into the atrium. From the atrium, the water exits through the atrial siphon or excurrent siphon. It goes outside. Also, at this point, what happens is respiration takes place. The incoming water brings in oxygen, and the carbon dioxide is also removed away into this water, and this water also exits from this region outside. Now the next thing, what happens is that this pharynx, the food particles are trapped, they are moved into the stomach. Sort of digestion takes place, then it goes into the intestine, the absorption takes place, and waste materials are removed through the gonad, through the anus. Similarly, reproductive structure, sperms and eggs are released through this gonoduct, and along with this water from the atrial siphon, all the gonoduct products like your sperm and eggs, they are removed. The waste products as well as end products of digestion which come out from the anus, they are all removed with the water outside. The nerve ganglia, the nerve cord in the adults gets converted into this dorsal ganglion. Apart from that, you have a tubular simple heart. The circulatory system is open, that is, you don't have arteries and veins, blood vessels carrying your blood. So this is the heart. And so this is the basic. And of course you have excretion through neural glands, pyloric glands and nephrocytes. It's not drawn over here, but there are some structures present which take pyloric is at the base of this pharynx and intestine. You find the stomach and the intestine, you find this pyloric glands. They remove waste materials. Then you have neural glands on this region, and nephrocytes. They are present throughout the body. Now the important thing is, the very important thing today is that what we are about this is the feature known as retrogressive metamorphosis. So what happens, this is the larva, free swimming larva. The larva is free swimming. They move about like tadpoles. They are much smaller than the tadpoles. Then they are attached to the substrate or to the sea bottom. The tail, you can see, starts to disappear. The pharyngeal slits start to grow. You can see late. Notochord goes away. Nerve cord becomes into a ganglion. Like here, this blue line over here. You can see the blue line over here. This becomes the nerve cord, dorsal tubular nerve cord. It becomes into a ganglion. The pharynx becomes big. And there are a lot of more gill slits present because it is needed for more respiration, for capturing food. So more water comes inside, and this the incurrent siphon and the excurrent siphon are the same. They remain the same. The heart is there. The heart also remains there. The digestive system, the stomach, they become more complex. So you can clearly see certain changes taking place. First is that they become sessile in the adult. Notochord, nerve cord, muscle and tail disappear. You can see that notochord, nerve cord, muscle and tail, they disappear. The alimentary canal becomes complicated with stomach and intestinal growth. The stomach and intestine, they grow over here. This was smaller here, they grew over here. The nervous system gets converted to a dorsal neural ganglion. Atrial cavity grows into a sac-like structure. The atrial cavity grows into a sac-like structure. Forms a sac-like structure. Then you have the eye spots and the statocysts, they disappear. The eye spots and statocysts disappear. There were certain structures known as eye spots, and statocysts are basically balancing organs. So when they are moving, when the larva is moving, they need a balance direction, which is what is on the top, what is bottom, what are on the sides. But when they become sessile, it is not needed, so they disappear. Since they are not moving, they don't need the tail. The notochord essentially is a hard structure. It gives firmness to that organism. But when they are sessile, they don't need that firmness. And the power of sense, since they cannot move away, the sensation is not very much needed, or the nerve senses are not very much needed. So they degenerate. So basically it's a retrogressive metamorphosis. What do you mean by progressive metamorphosis? That from primitive form it becomes advanced. So certain advanced characteristics come into place. But in retrogressive, they already had 3 advanced characteristics, like notochord, nerve cord and pharyngeal gill slits. Out of them, 2 of them they disappear. And so that becomes like a primitive invertebrate characteristics. But since at one stage of their life they had this particular notochord and nerve cord, so they are true chordates. So Thank you very much and happy pujas. And now before I end, I would like to first explain the note which has been already uploaded some days back. This is the note. So you have the general characteristics of urochordates present over here. The tunicates, adult body, and all these 6 tunic, test, nerve cord, all these general characteristics are there. You can see that in the slides I've taken data from here. These are all the characteristics which are present in this note over here. One more thing is that the flow of blood is periodically reversed, which I did not mention in the slide. Flow of blood is periodically reversed. So first the blood flows from in the say clockwise direction, then it flows in the other direction. So once from it goes in the clock direction, once in the anti-clockwise direction. So periodically they change. Then there are special vanadocytes in blood present. They extract vanadium from the sea. It is important for their survival. And then they are mostly hermaphrodite, fertilization, cross, and external. So cross means, say, even if they are hermaphrodite, that is the male and female gametes are produced in the same organism, but one would say that the same sperm and the egg from the same animal, they don't fertilize each other. Normally what happens is that they have got a different time. The sperms may develop early, the eggs may develop late. So at one time they are either secreting either sperms or eggs. So these sperms go and fertilize eggs released from another organism, another animal. And so this is there is a development indirect. It includes a free swimming tailed larva with basic chordate characteristics, the famous urochordate larva. And asexual reproduction by budding is common. Common examples are Acidia, Herdmania, Siona, Salpa, Doliolum. And now let us go, I will just go to the retrogressive metamorphosis. It's in this particular note itself. Here, retrogressive metamorphosis. So here initially you have the structure of early tadpole larva, how it looks. So what are the adhesive papillae are present in the head. Adhesive papillae is required to attach to the substratum. So all the organ of balance or the statocyst is present. And you have the retrogressive metamorphosis events present over here. And these are the just characters which you need to remember. What are the retrogressive changes which take place, I have mentioned over here. Essential, these are more points are given over here, but the points which I have mentioned in the slide, they are the basic points. Even if you write them, at least try to remember them which are given in the slides. And what are some of the progressive changes and retrogressive changes? I had mentioned them earlier, that the branchial chamber becomes enlarged, or the postpharyngeal region becomes enlarged. So this is the structure of the larva. Then how once the adhesive papilla, ADH is the adhesive papilla, they attach over here. So this is the adult which has formed. So this ends my presentation here. আচ্ছা, তোমার কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন আছে শ্রীমন্ত? ডু ইউ হ্যাভ এনি কোয়েশ্চেন্স?
স্যার ফিল্টার ফিডার্সটা কি ওটা?
ওকে, ভেরি গুড কোয়েশ্চেন। সো ফিল্টার ফিডার্স মানে হচ্ছে ফিল্টার করে খাবার খায়। তার মানে হচ্ছে জলটা ঢোকে, জলের মধ্যে তোমার খাবারের ছোট ছোট জিনিস যেরকম জু প্ল্যাঙ্কটন, ফাইটোপ্ল্যাঙ্কটন থাকে, ঠিক আছে? এবারে তারা কি করে, তারা যখন ঢোকে ওই এন্ডোস্টাইল থেকে মিউকাস ফিউকাস হয়, ওইখানে আটকে যায়। আর জলটা কি হয়, এক্সেস ওয়াটারটা খাবারটা নেওয়ার পর সেটা সেটা কি হয়, বেরিয়ে যায়। কোথা দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যায়? ফ্যারেঞ্জিয়াল গিল স্লিটস দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যায়, তাই তো? ফ্যারেঞ্জিয়াল গিল স্লিটস দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যায় খাবারটা। এই খাবার বলছি, জলটা বেরিয়ে যায়। আর খাবারটা আটকে যায় কোথায়? খাবারটা ফ্যারিংসের মধ্যেই থাকে, সেটা আবার স্টামাকে চলে যায়। তার মানে কি হচ্ছে, জল থেকে খাবারটাকে ফিল্টার করে খেয়ে নিচ্ছে, তাই তো? ছাকনি, ফিল্টার মানে হচ্ছে ছাকনি। তোমার
আচ্ছা।
ওই ফ্যারিংসটা ছাকনির মতন থাকে, যে জলটা ঢুকছে, খাবার গোলা আছে, মানে ছোট ছোট ফাইটোপ্ল্যাঙ্কটন, জু প্ল্যাঙ্কটন থাকে, তারা কি হচ্ছে সেই ছাকনির মধ্যে দিয়ে আটকে যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু জলটা কি হচ্ছে, ওটা করে বেরিয়ে এট্রিয়ামের মধ্যে গিয়ে পড়ছে। এট্রিয়াল ক্যাভিটি, এট্রিয়াল ক্যাভিটি থেকে আবার ওই এট্রিয়াল সাইফন দিয়ে বেরিয়ে পড়ছে। এটা হচ্ছে বেসিক ওদের অন্য ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক। এইটাকে বলা হয় ফিল্টার ফিডার্স। এদেরকে আবার আরেকটা টার্ম ইউজ করা হয়, সাসপেনশন ফিডার। সাসপেনশন ফিডার মানে কি, যে জলটার মধ্যে যে খাবারগুলো রয়েছে সেগুলো কি করে, সে ফ্যারিংসে ঢুকে সাসপেন্ড করে, সাসপেন্ডেড ফুড পার্টিকেলস থাকে জলের মধ্যে, যে মানে ঝুলে থাকে জলের মধ্যে, সাসপেনশনে ঝুলে থাকে। এবারে সেইগুলো কি হচ্ছে, সেইগুলো এবারে আস্তে আস্তে মানে পড়ে যায় বেস অফ দ্য ফ্যারিং, সে এন্ডোস্টাইলেতে আটকে যায়। এবারে জলটা বেরিয়ে যায়, খাবারটা আটকে যায়, খাবারটা হজম করে নেয়। ঠিক আছে? ফিল্টার ফিডার মানে বুঝতে পেরেছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আজকে এখানেই আমি শেষ করছি।
ঠিক আছে।
ওকে, হ্যাপি পূজাস।
স্যার, হ্যাপি পূজা।
ঠিক আছে।
ঠিক আছে।
কোয়েশ্চেন আছে? কোয়েশ্চেন থাকলে জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারো।
না স্যার, কোশ্চেন নেই, পরে
ঠিক,
থাকলে পরের দিন
হ্যাঁ
জিজ্ঞেস করবো।
নিশ্চয়ই নিশ্চয়ই, ওই গুগল ক্লাসরুমে লিখে দিও,
ঠিক আছে।
কেন আমি এই রেকর্ডিংটাও পাঠিয়ে দেবো গুগল ক্লাসরুমে। ঠিক আছে।
ঠিক আছে।